Hello, everyone. It is Matthew. It is July the 12th. It's a Sunday night for me. The market has gone live, so I wanted to do a video breakdown, updated pivots, gaps that we can discuss, and all those sort of things. So let's have a quick little breakdown. Let's have a quick look. First, the dollar index, of course. I'm going to be waiting. I'm not in any dollar pairs. I am long a small position of gold, so I guess, make a liar out of me. But it is something that I don't have a complete view on. Not that you ever do. I'm going to move this in a second. Not that you ever do, but excuse me. But this here, we got trend lines here. Are we back at them? I don't know. Is this, are these kind of head and shoulders on an angle? These inclines. I don't know. I don't have enough evidence. We've come back down to this area of support previous, and then as you start, this is on the hourly, but as you start zeroing down, you have this break. And we'll go back to the hourly here. And if we fibbed that from this end to here, we have shown strength at that 61.8 level. Is this the flag for more upside? A little bit tight for this index, but let's have a look. You can see how price is just like bouncing like a ball up against these EMAs. I'm interested to see what happens. I'm happy for it to be rejected or for it to break, and then I'll make a trade decision at that time. So yet again, never a rush. We don't have to get into anything. I have a little bit of exposure in the market right now, but not a lot. And let's move on. That's the dollar. Pardon me. What I'm going to do is also pull this up and show that we don't really have anything kicking. This is all yellow flag news. If you're in a pound trade, that's early morning, 9:30 for me, or not too early, but that's in the morning for me. And then some orange flag there. And we're pretty clear up until your Tuesdays if you're in a yen pair. So there's no huge roadblock to any decisions that we want to make right now. Anyways, and what I will do is I will take this beautiful. I just like putting this here so I know roughly what the market did when after we did our analysis. So I'm not married to this, but I'm just showing you that these are some things that I do to start helping me see things. And this is an ad hoc slammed on trend line, but yeah, I don't know. And then it's some more support in this area. We already talked about the dollar index, but is this more support in this area? I don't know. Let's see what happens. Moving on. And same thing here. It's opposed to the index, and we are. I personally think we talked about it last week where we broke out, and I don't think we went far enough. And so I think we're seeing that where we're seeing this push up to this. This one's really tough for me because it looks like upside on the dollar here, which upside would include downside on this one. So you can see that this is the benefit of going through charts, and we're just going to wait to see if we get a clearer picture. If this candle goes for a run and then there's strong rejection, making a shooting star or something along those lines, then we'll make a more informed decision. I'm not in any trade yet. Let's just chill out. And what I'll do is I'll also pull up an index. So yeah, no clear signal even on, or not an index, but an indicator, my apologies. No clear signal on that. This heat mapping's a great tool working directly with the developer right now to see where it can fit into our trading and if it'll be of benefit to the group. So far, it's showing a lot of promise. You see these areas where it's showing heavy reds, and they are correlating with these areas of reversal. Lots of red there. You're getting these peaks. This on balance volume is overbought, and you're seeing that here. And so when you start putting these these indicators together and everything, and then and further to the discussion, instead of the red, you have this blue showing buying power, and it's in it's in line. Now I know that the triggers haven't fired and all these different bulls and hidden bears and stuff, but it does help you when you start to get these overbought, oversold areas to help you define those a little bit more. So currently, there's no real indication. There's mixed colors. Nothing's really hot, 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 or cold, cold, cold. And we're just going to sit on our hands moving forward. This one here, as you can see, now this one is negatively correlated with gold. I should do a chart one day and I'll show you that, the power of that. But we have prices run up, it's been rejected, and now we're sitting, clear rejection of that last candle. We're sitting on the 61.8 level of that fib from the bottom to the top. We've pulled back and it looks like it could run on, meaning dollar strength, but at the same time, this pair is negatively correlated to gold, which I think has a little bit more to potentially pull back down before it really pops. But let's have a look at this pair. Now, we traded this pair like champions last week, and you know, it was going up. I wasn't sure what to do, and so I just got out of the trade. And now, if we start looking at these levels that we have highlighted, which are areas of support, or pardon me, resistance, and maybe it's not the best laid plan, but it is starting to come into an area where previous prices been rejected, and now we're showing these shooting stars. That matters. That's something to watch, and I am just keeping an eye on it. It's a dollar pair. I'm just sitting on my hands. We did a really good job trading that. Even found I believe a scalp within the short flag down, and we grabbed more of that. So great job last week. All right, let's look a little further. I actually left some of the analysis so I could do it live with you guys. You know, these trend lines, yeah, this looks like an anomaly here. It was a gap down, so let's kind of clean that up a little bit. And yeah, I don't know, you know, that false breakout there, that's kind of my most support. We'll see what it does. It's another dollar pair. I really would want to see it pulling a little further up. You know, there's that 0.70 level. I really want to see it further up before I go down, or a clear break drop through before I'd want to short. So yet again, dollar pair waiting. The dollar Swissy on this one, you can see we've been following this for a few weeks now. And it just skipped down this trend line. You know, there's our head and shoulders. There's our flag to the downside. We kept talking about it. Nothing had settled far enough down. We discussed the long here, and then it traveled up, and this candle here, clear rejection. To me, this is one of the more clearer dollar pairs, and what I'm seeing is more upside this way. So let's wait. Let's wait for some more confirmation, and what we could do as we start getting down into this zone. What I'll do is I want to highlight the area where I want to be watching, and then we start dropping down. And 15 is tight, but we can do it here. So you can see that we now start to put more and more of this kind of fractality where you have patterns within patterns. And you have the run up yet again. I'm sure if we fibbed this, we could come up with some excuse of how it's just kissed that 61.8 level, through in a doji, strong rejection, potentially flagging to further upside. You know, that is a very realistic look to me, an image of rejection at that 61.8 level. So yeah, we're keeping an eye on everything, watching things happen. What do we have there? Wow, look at that, eh? Just sitting ever so perfectly on that level. I'm going to be keeping a real close eye on this. And there's that 50% level that we love to trade. And yeah, all right. The New Zealand CAD, or pardon me, New Zealand dollar, where are we here? Yet again, not super clear, a lot more noise. That US Swissy had a pretty clean image to me. We are in these zones that will matter, and but for an entry for me, I want to see a break in either direction, and then I make my decision from there. Yet again, USD CAD, I'll get to oil because we always do when we talk about the CAD, these commodity currencies. But, you know, wow, look at this, just up and down, up and down. this to me would be probably more upside. There's an OPEC economic or OPEC news or data that came out. I just released an audio before the markets went live saying that I expect a gap and downside. Let's move over to oil and have a look because I believe it did that. So there's your gap. It pushed all the way down, and let's see what it does from here. My guess is further downside, but so if we have downside on the U.S. CAD pair, that means upside on the dollar. It's a battle of strengths and weaknesses here, and I just don't see anything yet. Nothing I'm getting excited about. We have had that break, and I would want to start seeing more confirmation, more wick rejection in and around this area, and we'll see what oil is doing if it's going to continue further downside, and then I would expect a little bit more upside. It's amazing when you're trading the dollar pair, just how different it can be on one or two or on a handful of pairs. It can be going up, and you pick another pair that is so heavily correlated with something else, such as gold or such as oil, and they could be going down. And so you can really find yourself in a frustrating position where your analysis of, I believe, US dollar strength or weakness is correct, but you're on the wrong side of a pair that you're into. And so we'll have to understand our correlations, and that's where just time on target, listening to these videos, spending those couple minutes, being a part of this journey, and seeing what the markets are telling us and the commodity and how the correlation works. We need to understand that. Moving on. So this one we've been up and down, and you can see it's in profit from our last location that we were trading. I believe I got out of this. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I'm out of it. But, it just kept giving us these little wins. Win, win, win. And so no complaining. Has it run off like I want it to? Well, at the end of the day, I'm kind of in a weekly trade on this one. And so while it is confirming that upside, I've been talking with some students about this. It has further upside to go, in my opinion. So we're on track, we're on trend, the trend is up, we're breaking trend lines here, we're showing upward momentum, and yeah, so let's keep on keeping on, and maybe we can grab another entry there. Yet again, it's correlated with oil, or it has some dependency on oil because it's a CAD. The euro yen, nothing jumping out quite yet. But is this something that we want to watch? Is this something that we're going to get on about? We can keep our eyes open on this one here. This area here is looking like it has some interest, but I'm going to get back to that. The market just opened and we're in a few trades, so let's just let everything roll out. And the euro pound on this one, you can see where we highlighted these head and shoulders patterns, a break, these retests. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere for me. I don't see it. I don't see a ton of conviction. I try to trade extremes in price. I don't see that ton of conviction. Yeah, there's areas of resistance, support. Absolutely. Look at here, look at there. But at the end of the day, I'm just not settled quite as far as I want it to be. Let's get down to this, at least this support pivot here. It's also a whole number looking right. You can see, guys, this is what I talk about all the time. This is 0.89000 level. And yeah, so let's let it get to this level, and let's be champions, and let's throw an alert on there. And then we can just hang out, and our phones are doing some of the work for us. Here, the indicator is showing that it is oversold. It is showing a bull signal, but that was, to be fair, in and around here. And, I really just don't like that's right there, which is in line with this move here, which was, a bit of a false breakout there. So let's move on. We're going to wait till it gets a little bit deeper, or we'll just miss the trade and we'll move in when the trade comes to us. This is not hard. We have the patience. We're professionals. So nothing jumping out at me yet again. We have breaks of trend lines. We have meandering all over the place. We have seen that we just have to wait for areas of resistance and support to be hit. We just have to wait for trend lines to be broken. I know we want to get into trades and get excited and be a part of the action. FOMO is one of the things that I definitely struggled with, and it's less and less an issue for me as we trade week after week. You'll get there. You'll be a little more in tune with the market and your abilities to understand why you're making the decisions that you're making. So I've left this here. You can see this is going back a little while. But I left this on the chart, and you can see that we have not really made that move that we have anticipated yet, but we haven't really dropped either. So let's keep an eye on it. There's some more signals there. Nothing down in these obscure. They're not even that obscure. I just don't live in this zone. I trade a narrow field of view, and it works for me, so I don't complain. And I know some guys that trade the Euro USD because their accounts are too big and they don't want to deal with slippage. They don't want to deal with wide spreads. Like there's some guys out there who just they get no fun. This is not fun for them. They just show up, do their job, and rinse and repeat and walk away. And those guys are also champions. So yeah, we've had this breakout, these head and shoulders here, these breakdown, like double bottoms up and so let's just wait. Let's hang out. We're at a four. I'm watching a lot of 4-hour charts this week. Is this rejection or is this a flag to further downside? Let's wait. Let's not get too excited. It's Sunday, and yeah, I just need to see a bit more. I'm gonna just get rid of that. I just want to see a bit more settling into price. And is that just a little bit more upside? This is the odd CAD, both commodity currencies. And what we're going to do is keep an eye on things. This odd yen, we really, over the last few weeks, have dominated this pair. It's been so gracious to us. And we've now had this break. That is a clean trend line. If you follow that, bing, 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 bing. And yeah. If anyone knows how I can kind of deactivate the fact that these metrics pop up when I go over this, let me know. I'm not a software engineer by any means, and I'd love to be able to just say mute that so I can just hover over it without it having to show all the metrics. But if you can see, if you look left, I am trying to show that we have a break of a trend line. So the odd, I believe, is going to show a little more weakness. The odd New Zealand is something that we've been actively in. This was a trade that was early week last week for the private group, and we're in profit. Now at this point, we are touching a 200 EMA on the daily. I'm expecting further downside, but we cannot discount the fact that it has hit that, and we have engulfing, and the market's just open, so. We don't want to be, we have to be careful saying, look at that, there's this spinning top diminutive candle, oh, there's this, like the market just opened, so you're going to get somewhat, sometimes anomalies in price. This Bitcoin, this was a trade idea I posted last weekend, I believe, or the week before. Oh, I can look at it right now. So yeah, it was the week before. And I said, I believe it was going long. Now it went long. And if you had traded this because we're champions, there's your double bottom. That's where I fired the signal out to the group. I wasn't even live, so I didn't, it was just on here because this is live over the weekends and my execution broker is not. But here we have this double bottoming effect. And I said, if we went long there, now the obvious place for you to put your profit loss tool would be right here. And I just want to show you if we went to whatever, if we put it there, we would have been below this level right here. That's a realistic place and we would have been a profit. Yeah, you guys would have had to watch your position end up underwater a few times, but you're now in profit. And in my opinion, and Bitcoin's a complete B, just for the record, anything that whips around this much cannot be relied upon to, like, look at that. And they're like, why do you want that exposure? And I know some of you guys are playing with, oh, that $10 I lost, that $100 I lost, or the several $100s I lost, I can replace next week. But when you start getting up into larger account sizes, it's all about why should I bother? Like, why would I want to lose that money at all? And so just to keep you, yet again, my ramblings and rants about risk management, which, gosh, I know you don't want to hear it, but this is how we have to do this, and we're watching something fun roll out in front of us, which I think it is. So yeah, we are in profit with that trade idea. Another kind of great trade idea that we're looking at. This S&P, absolute joy to watch because it's so ridiculous. And we'll see what happens. What are we doing? Oh, we're just pushing north, obviously. Why wouldn't we push north? Companies are falling apart, bankruptcies galore, no one can pay their rent, stores and true um, bastions of commerce are falling to the powers that be, the riots, the cancel culture, the all this, and we're having awesome breakouts. So it makes sense to me. And whatever, I am short. I'm short because I don't mind being washed out, because I know when I catch these sort of things, I'm okay being washed out a few times. So I come to you making jokes about all this stuff, but I really do feel bad for anyone who believes in the system. I find a lot of people who are broke talk about the stock market like they have any idea what the hell they're talking about. And I wonder why they defend it when it has absolutely nothing to do for their future. It has no benefit to them. It's been weaponized against the average person who has X amount of dollars, that is not actively trading their account or has no understanding of risk management. This truly has been weaponized against the common person. Everyone who thinks that this bubble should be jumped on is, guys, yeah, there might be 10 more percent upside and 20% more upside, and who cares. But at the end of the day, when you don't know how to get out of a trade, um, it really is a scary proposition, these markets. And I'm not saying anything else that the professionals are also saying. So anyways, that's my rant, and watch yourself. Equities are an absolute B right now, and we are moving forward. So oil did break lower. It quickly dropped. We'll see what it does from here. The market's just open. That first couple hours, that's we have 23 minutes until that candle closes. And you can see, I don't know if you guys have this, but you can see right there that it's counting down till the next candle close. So a nice little feature in TradingView. Love you, TradingView. And so yeah, we're gonna have that candle. She's gonna close in a high wave, a lot of whipsawing in action. This doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. And if you looked at this run here, I know it's only an hour chart, but this is a Fibonacci, so we're trading the wave and the pattern. We are now, to be honest, we've broken, and you would think more upside, but we are now really shuddering at that 78.6 level. So we'll see what happens over the next couple candle sets. And these precious metals, I'm not the only one. There's a lot of talk of these popping, a lot of talk of these with further upside. We'll see what happens. I'm going to keep on them. I do own physical gold miners, gold this, gold that, and I am heavy into precious metals right now, and it's one of the reasons that my portfolio has stayed nice and steady. I'm out of the gambling phase, and I am trying to further wealth properly. This oil, we'll see. You can see as you back out a little bit, you see these areas where it's just gonna, you know what I mean? You just got these false breakouts at the end of the day, right back underneath these trend lines, and now back up to these trend lines. So we'll see. I'm not sure why I clicked on that gold or oil right there, but so. Here's silver, talking about that silver breaking to the upside. We talked about this last week. Really strong open with silver, and it is off to the races. My guess is this is a breakout. My guess is it's going to just keep on heading north. Hong Kong, I do watch it. I find it of interest, and talk about manipulation. Oh my gosh, I just noticed that. I was out on the weekly. So this is a very interesting, if I can trade this index, I might do that, and I believe I can. This is a very interesting area to watch is this Hang Seng index. It's basically the S&P in Hong Kong, and we all know what's going on in that area, and it's so sad to see um, people's liberties smashed so clearly, so blatantly. I know there's a lot of injustice in the world, but that is really amazing to watch and very sad to see. There's going to be a real shakeup. Think of property values. Think of the brain drain. Think of all these things. People leaving that territory, um, and we're in a different world right now. So we'll see what it looks like in 6 months, 12 months. I'm going to be speaking about that further on some other platforms. But yeah, anyway, so the US dollar, this one's interesting to me because I believe there'll be something very interesting, and I want to put this on a timestamp. I believe now, this is obviously when this is all going down, your first question is not where are the tradable opportunities, but what exposure uh, do I have to what is happening in Hong Kong or China or anywhere else on the planet because of COVID? You start thinking about your exposure, and that's what an active trader does. Now you can see that prices are just sitting on these support lines. There is a lot of talk that the Hong Kong dollar will not be pegged to the US dollar anymore. I don't know when that's going to happen, but there are some very large names, Kyle Bass, these absolute macro super hedge fund masters are talking about these pegs being removed and a whole new currency, probably a failing fiat currency known as the Hong Kong dollar. So that's a bit of a big jump, a bit of a move. And I think what you would see is the Hong Kong dollar disappearing. Why would you have the Hong Kong dollar any longer? Is one of the arguments when clearly they're just walking into these financial centers and taking them over. And I'm a witness. Well, let's just see what happens. But I would expect some serious upside on this chart. My broker, I believe, has actually shut this down so no one can even integrate with it for exposure reasons, and it is a responsible move on their behalf. I don't think that it's anything that I want to be trading right now, but I think if you could weather a wide stop and you could sit on a trade for a while, you got yourself something where that Hong Kong dollar will disappear, basically. So the Nikkei, the Japanese index, I just keep an eye on the Asian markets, and that's a monthly chart. I'm going to go back out to a weekly. Feeling motivated to do a little more analysis here. I just want you guys to see what I do. Nothing exciting, and I like to have that right there so I can see. I'm on just my laptop right now, and I miss the real estate, not gonna lie to you. Yeah, so we have in the areas of those 78.6 levels that we have change happening. So, let's see what happens. I don't think it would be something I can trade, or something I will trade. But let's keep an eye on things. Lot to talk about. S&P at a 3,200 level. It is broken out. There's a lot of people who think this is going nowhere. Let's see what happens with this last candle here. That'll be important. I am all about alerts lately. Bam. And let's see where further downside since we've been talking about this. What's Bitcoin doing? This little thing? Well, making long wicks all over the place. But let's see what happens. I'm light. Welcome to the markets for this week. The only thing I'm in right now is this trade. I've been in it since back here. Further downside, and I'm just going to do this for now. And we are rocking and rolling. Let's clean up this chart. And I think if we started looking at something like this, I think honestly, we're going to end up with something along these lines. I think we need to go a bit deeper. And that goes back to this beautiful chart here. We traded this all the way. The shooting star, which I've labeled, and then we had the next couple weeks, and it was this one I highlighted how it was incapable of breaking above that 200 strong. Remember these are weekly, so these are pretty large moves, and we are here. And there's, here's that 50% fib level. My alert is set, further downside, getting excited, and we have further support right there. So that's what I'm into right now. I'm going to fire out some ideas into the group when I get a chance, and I'm excited. We're coming off a great week. Let's keep our heads about us, and let's worry about how to be professionals every damn day. Talk to you.